Most people think the midnight zoomies are just one of those things cats do, a quirk, a glitch in the system, something to laugh about and film for social media. You've probably done exactly that. Watch your cat launch off the couch at 2 in the morning like something invisible was chasing them, shook your head, and went back to sleep. But what if everything your cat does in the dark and in the daylight too is actually a conversation? What if every strange behavior, every midnight sprint, every long stare from across the room is your cat trying, in the only language they have, to tell you something specific? Because once you understand what's really behind these behaviors, you stop seeing a weird cat. You start seeing a deeply feeling, incredibly complex creature who has been trying to communicate with you this whole time. And number 14 on this list, the very last one, is the one that changes everything. It's about what your cat is actually saying when they look at you. Really look at you, and it might be the most important thing you learn about your cat today. Please like and subscribe so we can reach more people who love their cats as much as you do. It genuinely helps. Now let's get started. Number 1, begging for food without actually eating. You've seen this so many times you barely notice it anymore. You shake the treat bag and your cat comes running from somewhere deep in the house, ears forward, tail up, completely focused. They sniff the bowl. They really sniff it carefully, thoroughly, and then they turn around and walk away like you personally offended them. You probably figured they were being picky. Maybe the treats were stale. Maybe they just changed their mind. But researchers at the University of Vienna found something that completely reframes this moment. For a cat, the act of being fed isn't really about hunger. Psychologically, it's equivalent to being loved. The entire ritual of asking for food, the approaching, the sniffing, the whole ceremony, is a social bridge. They're not evaluating the treat. They're reaching out to you. They want your presence, your attention, your acknowledgement that they exist and that you see them. When your cat begs and walks away, they got what they actually came for, a moment with you. But here's where it gets serious. If your cat suddenly stops doing this, if they used to beg every evening and one day they just don't anymore, that is not them outgrowing the habit. A sudden, complete loss of interest in a previously loved treat is a clinical warning sign. It can indicate illness, pain, or something happening internally that hasn't surfaced yet. Don't wait it out. For now, the next time they do their little beg and walk ritual, give them the thing they actually came for. Sit down. Let them climb on you. The food was never the point. Number 2, sudden high-speed racing, the zoomies. It's midnight. The house is completely still. You're almost asleep. And then the sound, pause on hardwood, something hitting the floor, a blur tearing through the hallway and back again, then silence, like it never happened. Most people laugh it off. It's just a cat thing, one of those inexplicable quirks. But there's real biology underneath it, and it's worth understanding. Despite thousands of years living with humans, your cat is still hardwired, physiologically a predator. Their body is built to hunt. And when they can't do that, energy accumulates over the course of the day until the system can't hold it anymore. The zoomies are a pressure valve releasing. The reason it happens at night specifically comes down to the way your cat is built. Cats are crepuscular, naturally most active around dawn and dusk, but your indoor cat's rhythm often shifts later to match the patterns of your household. So while you're winding down, your cat is hitting their biological peak. They're not doing this to you. They're just finally running at full capacity. Here's the part that matters. If your cat does this constantly, every single night, frantic and relentless, it's not a personality trait. It's a signal that something in their daily life isn't being met. A cat that can't burn its predatory energy expresses it through stress, destructive behavior, and a low-grade restlessness that never quite settles. They don't have the words to ask for more stimulation. The zoomies are the ask. 10 to 15 minutes of active play before you go to bed, a wand toy, a laser, anything that lets them chase and pounce, can change your nights entirely. You're not just tiring them out. You're fulfilling something ancient and necessary in them. Give them the hunt. They'll give you the quiet. Number 3, pawing around the food bowl. You've watched your cat eat half their dinner, seem satisfied, and then spend 30 seconds frantically scratching at the floor around the bowl, on tile, on hardwood, surfaces that will never give way no matter how long they scratch, and then they walk off like the mission is complete. Most people assume it means the cat didn't like the food, or maybe the bowl placement is wrong. The truth goes back tens of thousands of years. In the wild, leaving food scraps exposed is a tactical disaster on two fronts. It attracts larger predators to your exact location, and it tells any prey animals in the area that a hunter's nearby, so they leave. Burying leftover food or simulating the act of burying it is a survival behavior. It's about hiding your presence, protecting your territory, managing your scent profile. Your cat isn't storing food for later. Cats are not scavengers. They are not squirrels. They're covering their trail. That frantic scratching at your laminate flooring serves exactly the same function it would have served in the wild. Your cat just doesn't have the physical environment to complete the motion. What this actually tells you, your cat isn't rejecting the food. They felt satisfied enough by it to protect it. That little ritual is them doing exactly what millions of years of evolution told them to do. If you notice it happening a lot, consider the bowl. Deep, narrow bowls press against a cat's sensitive facial whiskers during eating, a condition called whisker fatigue, and it can cause genuine discomfort. A wider, shallower bowl can make the whole meal more comfortable. Small change, big difference. Try it tonight. And speaking of things almost every cat owner misunderstands, what's coming up next looks like rejection. It feels like rejection. But it's actually one of the most profound things your cat can show you. Stay with me. Number 4, rolling over and showing the belly. Your cat spots you walk into the room and they do the thing. They roll, full belly up, paws in the air, eyes half lidded, completely exposed. Every instinct you have as a human says, belly rub. This is clearly an invitation for a belly rub. Please don't. Here's what's actually happening. The belly is the most vulnerable part of a cat's body. Every vital organ lives there. Exposing it is not a casual gesture. It is a profound, deliberate act of trust. When your cat rolls onto their back for you, they are telling you, in the most physically vulnerable posture they know, that they feel completely safe in your presence, that you are not a threat, that they are at peace. That is an enormous statement from a creature that is biologically wired to protect itself at nearly all costs. But it is not an invitation to touch, it's a greeting. Most cats find belly contact unpleasant or threatening the moment it happens. Their protective instincts activate instantly, and then you get a claw to the hand and a confused, slightly hurt cat. And then you think they're unpredictable. But they weren't being unpredictable at all. They said hello, you grabbed them. The right response is to meet the moment for what it is. Soft voice, maybe a slow blink, a gentle chin scratch if they lean toward you. Let the love letter be a love letter. Don't turn it into something else. Number 5, burying waste. This one seems like the most obvious item on the list. Cats are clean animals. They bury their waste. What more is there to know? Quite a bit, actually, because the reason behind this behavior has nothing to do with cleanliness, not even slightly. Cat feces contain pheromones, unique chemical signatures that function like a biological ID card, broadcasting exactly who was here, when, and in what physical condition. In the wild, leaving those signatures exposed is a catastrophic mistake. It tells predators precisely where you are. It tells prey animals to stay away from the area. It eliminates the stealth quality that makes a cat an effective hunter. Burying waste is not hygiene. It's camouflage. It's tactical invisibility. It's the feline equivalent of covering your tracks, a survival protocol so deeply encoded in your cat's neurology that your perfectly safe, indoor, zero-threat house cat still executes it every single day by pure instinct. What this means in practice, if your cat suddenly stops burying their waste, pay attention. It can indicate physical pain during the motion, dissatisfaction with the cleanliness or texture of the litter, or a territorial statement if there are other animals in the home. The behavior running smoothly is a sign that all is well. A disruption in it is a signal worth investigating. Keep the box clean, keep it in a private spot, and appreciate the fact that what looks like a polite domestic habit is actually one of the most ancient survival strategies in the animal world, playing out in your bathroom every single day. Number 6, scratching everything. Your couch, your doorframe, that specific corner of the carpet you tried everything to protect. Your cat finds it, looks at you, and scratches it anyway. The assumption most owners make is that this is bad behavior, spite, boredom, a power move. Here's what's actually happening, and it's happening on several levels at once. Scratching marks territory through 2 channels simultaneously: the visual damage left behind and the invisible layer of pheromones deposited from specialized scent glands in your cat's paws. Every scratch says, "This is mine," in a way that both other cats and your cat themselves can detect. It also strips the dead outer layer from their claws, keeping them sharp and healthy. It gives them a full-body stretch that engages muscles from their shoulders down through their spine. It burns energy. And it provides a mental outlet for drives that have no other exit in an indoor life. Scratching is not optional for your cat. It is a physical and psychological requirement. A cat that cannot scratch is a cat under constant, low-grade, invisible stress. The fix is never to stop the behavior, it's to redirect it. A tall, sturdy scratching post placed near the surface they've already claimed gives them a legitimate outlet for something they were going to do regardless. Rub a little catnip on it. Reward them when they choose it. Over time, the post becomes the preferred spot because it satisfies the instinct just as well, and the interaction with you makes it even better. They're not ruining your home. They're taking care of themselves in the only way they know how. Help them do it somewhere you both can live with. Before the next item, make sure you've liked and subscribed so we can reach more cat lovers who need to hear this. And trust me, you'll want to stay for number 14. That one goes somewhere completely different. Now, this next behavior is one the most misunderstood on the entire list, and getting it wrong has real consequences. Number 7, vomiting. Nobody wants to talk about this one. But we're going to, because the line between normal and needs a vet is one that most cat owners are drawing in entirely the wrong place. Here's the biology. Your cat's tongue is covered in tiny, backward-facing hooks called papillae, that sandpaper texture you've felt. Those hooks make their grooming extraordinarily efficient, but they also catch dead hair and pull it inward with every lick. Most of that hair moves through the digestive system without issue, but some of it accumulates in the stomach, clumps together, and eventually needs to come back out. That's a hairball. That's the body doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Occasional hairballs, a few times a year, are within the range of normal. What is not normal is weekly vomiting. If your cat is vomiting once a week or more, that is a clinical flag that something else is going on. It can indicate food allergies. It can indicate an infection. It can indicate diabetes, urinary tract disease, or internal blockage. And cats are dangerously attracted to string, ribbon, and thread, all of which can cause life-threatening internal damage that doesn't always announce itself clearly until the situation is serious. The invisible danger here is that vomiting looks the same whether it's a harmless hairball or something that's been quietly building for months. Most owners don't escalate until the frequency becomes undeniable. By then, time has passed. Daily brushing, even 5 minutes, significantly reduces how much hair gets swallowed in the first place. Adding fiber to your cat's diet helps the rest move through cleanly. And if the vomiting is happening weekly, make the call. Don't wait for it to resolve on its own. Your cat can't tell you when something feels wrong. Their patterns have to speak for them. Listen to the pattern. Number 8, ignoring you. You say their name. You know they heard it. You watch their ear flick in your direction, a tiny, involuntary acknowledgement. And then they close their eyes and go back to doing absolutely nothing. You're right there. They don't move. It stings a little. You'd never admit it, but it does. Here's the reframe. And it matters. Cats are not dogs. This is not a flaw in your cat. It is the architecture of their entire species. Dogs evolved in packs, wired to seek constant approval from the group. Their social survival depended on responsiveness, on eagerness, on performing connection on demand. Cats evolved as solitary hunters who answered to no one. Their survival depended entirely on themselves, on their own judgment, their own timing, their own read of the environment. Independence was not just a preference, it was the mechanism that kept them alive. When your cat ignores your call, they are not being cold. They are being exactly what they are. They're in a sunbeam. They're comfortable. They've assessed the situation and determined there's no compelling reason to move. That is not indifference to you. That is a creature who feels secure enough in the bond between you that they don't need to perform it on cue. The owners who give cats the most space consistently report the deepest bonds. Forcing interaction when a cat wants to be alone creates stress, erodes trust, and trains them to associate your presence with discomfort. Letting them come to you, on their timeline, in their way, builds something real, the kind of attachment a cat gives carefully and keeps permanently. The next time your cat ignores your call, try this. Take it as a compliment, They're relaxed. They feel safe. That's because of you. Number 9, the arched back. Your cat arches their back, puffs out their fur, stands sideways. Most people read this as aggression. It looks aggressive. It's designed to look aggressive. But what it actually is fear. The arched back is a defensive posture. It happens when a cat feels threatened, frightened, or cornered and cannot immediately escape. The puffing of the fur, a biological reflex called piloerection, happens at the same time, making the cat appear physically larger than they are. The entire posture is an act of theater. It's a bluff. The cat is hoping that by looking like a genuinely bad idea to approach, whatever is frightening them will simply back off, and they won't have to do anything but look the part. Your cat isn't trying to attack. Your cat is scared and hoping they don't have to. Everything you instinctively want to do in that moment, approach them, reach out to comfort them, try to help, will make it worse. To a frightened cat, approach reads as confirmation that the threat is real. What they need is the opposite. Give them an exit. Lower your body. Speak in a quiet, level voice. Create distance. Let them make the next move. Understanding this posture as fear rather than aggression changes your entire response. And in doing so, it protects both of you from an interaction that escalates when it never needed to. Number 10, biting. Your cat just bit you. You weren't doing anything wrong as far as you could tell. It felt like it came out of nowhere. Here's the truth. A bite almost never comes from nowhere. The context always means something, and once you learn to read it, you'll almost never be surprised again. Gentle nibbles, controlled and soft, are a form of affection. Cats groom each other this way. They are treating you like a member of their social circle who needs to be taken care of. If a soft nip is followed by a headbutt or slow blink, that is intimacy. Receive it as such. A harder bite that happens mid-petting is almost always overstimulation. Your cat's nervous system has a threshold, and when petting crosses it, the bite is a direct signal to stop. They told you before the bite happened, the tail began to twitch, the skin rippled slightly, the ears started rotating back, but those signals are subtle and easy to miss. Learn your individual cat's warning sequence. It will save you both. An aggressive bite accompanied by hissing, bristled fur, and a rigid body is a genuine threat response. Something frightened them or hurt them, and touch is making it worse. That's not aggression, that's pain or terror communicating through the only channel available. And sometimes a cat will nip you, pause, and then walk deliberately toward their food bowl or a toy. That's not anger, that's efficiency. They figured out that biting gets your attention faster than meowing, and they have something they need from you. Follow them. Every bite is a sentence. Learn the language and the relationship changes. Number 11, licking you. Your cat comes over and licks your hand, your wrist, that same spot on your forearm they come back to again and again. It's a little rough, a little strange, and completely unprompted. Licking is social grooming. In the relational world of a cat, it's an act reserved for the small inner circle, the beings they claim, protect, and feel responsible for. When your cat licks you, they are treating you as family, not like a pet, like a member of their pride. They are keeping you clean. They are depositing their scent on you, which to another cat reads as, "This person is taken care of." They're marking you with ownership, but not the possessive kind, the protective kind. Your reactions matter more than you might think. When you laugh, lean in, smile, your cat registers that response as positive feedback, and the behavior reinforces. They feel rewarded. The licking continues. And through repetition, this small ritual becomes one of the quiet daily threads that holds your bond together. But excessive licking, compulsive and repetitive, directed at themselves or at objects or at you without stopping, is a different story. That pattern is often anxiety or stress manifesting through a self-soothing behavior. The motion calms their nervous system, but the underlying cause doesn't go away. If the licking seems frantic rather than affectionate, something in their environment is worth examining. A change in schedule, a new animal, a sound or smell they can't locate. The licking is the symptom. Look for the source. When it's loving, lean into it. When it seems desperate, investigate. Number 12, sleeping on you. Your cat has the entire house, every couch, every chair, every patch of floor where afternoon sunlight pools. You've bought them beds, nice ones. They use them occasionally and decoratively. And then there's you. When you sit down, when you lie down, when you stop moving long enough, they find you. Part of the reason is thermal. Cats maintain a higher body temperature than humans, and they feel it when the environment cools. Your body is a consistent, inexhaustible heat source that requires nothing from them. From a purely physical standpoint, you are the best bed in the house. But the deeper reason is something else entirely. Sleep is the most vulnerable moment in any animal's existence. It's when defenses are completely down, when a cat chooses to sleep on you, specifically on you, on your chest, in the curve of your knees, tucked against your side. They are telling you something profound. They have identified you as their safe place, the being in their world whose presence makes them feel protected enough to be completely, entirely unguarded. They miss you when you're gone. The way they seek you out in the evening, the way they find you specifically in a house full of options, that is not habit. That is attachment. You are their home base. Every time they choose you, they mean it, and they always mean it. This next one, number 13, is something most owners notice but never think twice about. But your cat's eyes are one of the most precise communication tools they have, and learning to read them changes everything. Number 13, dilated pupils. In low light, this is pure mechanics. Your cat's pupils expand to capture every available photon, enabling the extraordinary night vision that makes them such effective hunters in the dark. When the room is dim and their pupils are wide, their eyes are simply doing their job. But in normal light, dilated pupils are something else entirely. They are a direct readout of your cat's emotional state. Wide pupils in a lit room can mean excitement, that electric, coiled focus right before they pounce. They can mean pleasure. Some cats' pupils dilate slightly in a hedonic response when they're eating something they love. They can mean fear, anxiety, or stress that hasn't announced itself in any other visible way. And they can mean something is medically wrong. Certain illnesses, neurological conditions, and medication effects can cause the pupils to remain dilated regardless of light levels. It's one of those quiet, easy to overlook signals that only registers as concerning if you already know what you are looking at. The most valuable thing you can do is learn your cat's baseline, know what their eyes look like when they're relaxed and content. Spend a few moments really looking, because when a change happens, subtle dilation with no obvious cause, pupils that don't respond normally to light, you'll catch it earlier. And for a cat who cannot tell you that something feels different, that early catch matters more than you know. Your cat's eyes are a window. Make sure you're actually looking through it. And now, the one this entire video has been building toward. The behavior that's been teased since the beginning. The one that, once you understand it, will change how you see every quiet moment you share with your cat. Number 14, staring at you. You feel it before you see it. You're reading or working or just sitting in the quiet of your own house, and there's a weight to the air that tells you before you look up. And when you do, there's your cat, completely still, eyes on you, not at the food bowl, not at the door, not asking for anything obvious, just looking at you. Most people glance back awkwardly and look away. They don't know what to do with it. Here's what you should know. That stare carries different meanings depending on everything surrounding it. And learning to read the context is one of the most intimate things you can do as a cat owner. Sometimes it's hunger, clear, practical, usually paired with being near the bowl and some vocal reinforcement. Sometimes it's discomfort. Your cat is cold or in pain or anxious about something they can't locate. And they're looking at you because they understand on some fundamental biological level that you are the one who changes things. Their well-being is bound to yours. When something feels wrong, they look to you. That is not nothing. That is an enormous amount of trust placed in your hands. But the stare you'll come to recognize, the one that arrives without agenda, in the calm hours, in a body that's soft and still, that one is different from all the others. Watch for the slow blink, eyes that are slightly heavy-lidded, a long, deliberate close and open, unhurried, almost like a sigh made visible. The slow blink is the closest thing in the feline world to the words, "I love you." It is a conscious, voluntary act of vulnerability, choosing, in that moment, to close your eyes in the presence of another being. In the language of a creature whose survival has always depended on vigilance, that choice means something. It means you are not a threat. It means they are not afraid. It means that in this specific moment, in this specific space with you, everything is safe. When your cat offers you a slow blink, blink back. Slowly, deliberately, let the moment hold. They feel it. It sounds small, but it isn't small. It's the full depth of what a cat can offer, understated and absolute. It's more than a look across a room. It's a relationship expressing itself in the only language available to both of you. It's your cat saying, I see you, I trust you, I'm glad you're here. And the extraordinary thing is that it's always been there. In every quiet stare you half noticed and looked away from. In every slow blink you received without knowing what it meant. Now you know, blink back. At the end of the day, your cat isn't asking for anything complicated. They don't need elaborate gestures or perfect routines. They need you to see them, to understand that every strange behavior, every midnight sprint, every deliberate, loaded look across a room is a piece of an ongoing conversation they've been trying to have with you since the beginning. They are private, precise, quietly feeling animals who express love through presence rather than performance. They will never shout what they need. They will never demand it. But they will always show you in the language of a species that learned to trust slowly, carefully, and for keeps. You're already doing the most important thing. You're paying attention. Now drop your cat's name in the comments, not just as a comment, as a tribute. A little acknowledgement that they exist and that they matter and that you see them. Whether they're curled up next to you right now or watching over you from the Rainbow Bridge, they deserve to be named here. Tell us who they are. Tell us the one thing they do that no cat chart or biology paper could fully explain, the specific, unrepeatable thing that is just them. And tonight, whenever you catch them looking at you, really looking at you, blink slowly, just once, and wait. They'll blink back.